What's going on, guys? This is Brad from BostonInnovation.com. Just catching up with you with Chris from Island Creek Oysters, a local Massachusetts company doing some pretty cool stuff. Their brand is exploding right now, so we want to sit down with Chris. Chris, thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure.
So tell us a little about, for people that don't know Island Creek, give them a little idea of a little background on Island Creek Oysters.
Sure. Island Creek was started in 1992 by Skip Bennett, Duxbury, Massachusetts native, and that's where the company's still based today. Basically, Skip came back from college and decided to try to grow clams in Duxbury Bay. His dad was a lobsterman, and he worked the bay, through high school and college. And all of his clams died, and he told people he was going to grow oysters. Everyone told him he was crazy, but it turned out to work really well.
All right.
So now, flash forward almost 20 years, today we're selling millions of oysters per year. We also sell other products like fish and razor clams from Duxbury Bay. And we have a foundation that currently has an aquaculture project going in Zanzibar in Africa, and we're opening a restaurant in Kenmore Square in August.
I mean, is that enough for you right there? So I know obviously you guys aren't tech related, but you are a small company, a local Massachusetts company, and you guys are doing really cool stuff. So, for those of you who might be wondering, why am I sitting here with Chris, somebody who works in salt water, getting his hands dirty, right? He's not sitting at a computer like a lot of us, and maybe we're jealous to a certain extent. But the reason why I want to talk to Chris from Island Creek is because, you guys over the past couple years have just been killing it, growing your brand as much as you can. Basically been getting the word out about Island Creek, and I want to know, what have you guys done to market yourself, to make yourselves cool in a market that's probably pretty difficult to differentiate yourself from a lot of other companies?
Yeah, sure thing. The food industry has been really difficult, but it's also treated us pretty well. And a large part of that is that we do have our farm, our growers. It's a co-op of 15 growers, and then Island Creek itself is actually a wholesale company. And so that's really the group of people that's nurtured the brand over the years. And that's really all we have that we go on. Our oysters happen to be really, really good. But in terms of a business model, it's not the best thing to be wholly dependent on a natural crop.
So how do you get the word? How do you tell people, this is what we're up to, this is what we're doing, our oysters are better than everyone else, without, jumping down people's throats? What tools do you guys use out there marketing-wise?
Right, exactly. So we use pretty much everything. We span the gamut. We have our website, obviously. We use Facebook. We use Twitter. All of us have Twitter accounts. We have an Island Creek Twitter, and then we have, for instance, our driver has gained some level of celebrity within Boston, within the food industry, and he has a great Twitter account, and pretty much everyone that works with us does. We also have a news blog that kind of chronicles things that are happening both on the farm and also with our events in Boston and across the country, and we also have a pretty big presence in the press. We really manage our image, as it relates to Boston Globe food column, or whoever may be writing about us.
Do you know how many Facebook fans you have?
2,700, just about.
Damn, good. How many Twitter followers?
Twitter followers, 660, I think.
660. You sure? Right around there.
Pretty sure.
So who are you trying to reach? Who are you trying to reach when you're giving out all this info on Facebook? You're showing what kind of stuff are you posting? Events out there? Are you trying to get in touch with restaurant chefs, owners? Who's your target demographic, and how have you guys found the best way to reach them?
Basically, we have two main demographics. One is chefs, obviously, because we sell directly to many chefs in Boston, New York, Miami, Vegas, San Francisco, Hong Kong, you name it. And so that's really, our Facebook page has become kind of a hub for the industry in many ways. Like, I'll show up at a kitchen and a chef will have already looked at our Facebook page, the post that I just did, for my BlackBerry on the road about our truck driver or whatever. And so that's been really good. But we also try to target the consumer, the end consumer of our oysters, which is essentially everybody, every restaurant goer possible. And so, as you can imagine, those are kind of two totally different animals, one of whom relies heavily on the social media aspect of it. Pretty much everyone that sees our Facebook page, is hard to quantify how many Facebook friends translate into how many oysters buy at a restaurant. You know, and then there's a lot of actual pavement pounding that goes on with the chefs as well as the social media.
And you guys, you know, you mentioned earlier you have a new restaurant opening in Kenmore Square in August.
Indeed.
What would you say to
We're
people?
psyched.
Yeah, we're all psyched. What would you say for people out there that, you know, with their own startup company, with their own small business, with their own product to sell and market, you know, what would you say are the, you know, things they should focus on and maybe like a risk that they should you know, avoid
Sure.
or consider when they're marketing to their consumers?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing I would say is brand, brand, brand. I think everyone knows that. But it's about, I mean, creating a good image, I think. And I certainly didn't create the Island Creek brand, but I am, you know, I guess
You got the
involved in
shirt.
growing it. I got the shirt.
That's half the battle.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, but basically, you have to be very conscious of your identity, and you don't want to. You have to be restrained. You don't want to, because you get your identity, and you don't want to overuse it. You don't want to hit people over the heads with it. But it's important to, for instance, we have like an Island Creek voice, you know, like a tone that we use with all of our Facebook posts, Twitter, the website. Even it comes down to our product sheets. You know, the information on our oysters or our fish that we would hand to a chef. It's all written in the same exact voice. So it's the Island Creek voice. It's like there's a man named Island Creek that is like telling you this. And that's a big part of it for us.
Good.
And then, you know, exercising restraint. And in terms of risks, I guess that kind of plays into it also, is that you don't want to oversaturate
people.
Exactly.
You want to remain cool without inundating people with everything that's going on.
Exactly, because the last thing you need is for people to get sick of hearing from you.
Right. You gotta stay fresh. You gotta stay hot.
Exactly. That's hard to do with Facebook, but you know, other ways. You know, for instance, email. You don't want to get.
Yeah.
I get an email from 1-800-Flowers like 6 times a day,
Right.
and I will never ever buy flowers from them.
Well, you heard it from Chris. Check out Island Creek Oysters on Facebook. Become their, you know, 2,800 fan. Get them up to 3,000. Twitter. You can check out Twitter/Island Creek. Check out their blog. It's islandcreekoysters.com.
Yeah.
Just Google search for Island Creek Oysters from Duxbury. Check them out. They're doing some cool stuff. And they're all over the place with a lot of cool events that you guys should check out. And you can follow all those events on their Facebook page. So, for Chris, thanks for stopping by, man.
My pleasure.
Brad from Boston Innovation. Enjoy your oysters.